Hello my friends, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video, which is going to be a review on the new Nars Summer 2021 face palette. I was so excited for this. I love a good Nars face palette and this was no exception. So if you're interested in seeing how this works for me, swatches on a couple of different skin tones, as well as a demo, let's see how this works on my skin tone, then just keep on watching. All right, first things first, let's go over a couple of important details. So first off, this does have an 18-month shelf life. It is made in Italy, which I think everybody looks forward to products made in Italy. It's pricey, it's $59. However, it is Nars, which is pricier. And if you compare it to the Anastasia Trio that I just reviewed a couple weeks ago, that was $58, so then all of a sudden $59 isn't seeming so bad. Then let's see, you do get 6 pans of product at 0.1 ounces or 3 grams, and it says that it is a limited edition cheek palette that features an array of sun-kissed coral and golden shades. Let's see, it features an array of sun-kissed coral and golden shades inspired by the iconic peachy pink shade blush that Nars is well known for. I will leave that word out of it just because my channel is a G-rated channel. I just gotta let you know, but you know that iconic blush that they are well known for. I think it's a beautiful shade and I have loved it for years. These shades are formulated with a lightweight formula that builds effortlessly and blends seamlessly onto any skin tone. That is a very lofty claim. We will see about that. Revealing color in its truest form. So, you do get 6 shades: Turtle Bay, Naples, Mandalay Bay, Montezuma, their classic shade, and Zuma. So it is limited edition. So it says they've been coming out with a lot of limited edition stuff here lately, it seems like. Anyways, so going into the packaging is absolutely stunning. It's a very like rose gold mirrored type of look. If fingerprints bother you, then this is going to be no exception. But it is absolutely lovely. And then on the back you have the sticker. I love this. I think it's very just luxe looking and I am here for it. So that being said, we're going to go into swatches. I also want to tell you that as soon as this came in, or as soon as it arrived and I opened it up, I was like, this reminds me of a couple of other palettes that I have. So I will take you into that so that you have an idea. But here is what we've got going on. So you've got a couple of different highlighter shades and 4 blush shades. This kind of could go as a bronzer. I don't know. But anyways, so it is definitely a deeper shade. We're going to go into these swatches on my skin tone as well as my husband's skin tone so that you have an idea, more or less, hopefully, if it will work for you. So let me grab those swatches and I'll be right back. So here are the first 4, which are Turtle Bay, Naples, Mandalay, and Montezuma. And then let me just grab the last 2 for you, which are, ooh, that one's pretty. So they're classic shade and then just Zuma. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Very pigmented, very opaque, smooth, no tugging. But that's kind of what I expected with this formula. It is I don't know if it's a gelée formula, to be honest, because I feel like I associate gelée in my mind with being a stiffer formula. And this has a little bit, it's kind of like a powder gelée hybrid in that it does have that powdery finish or feel, but it does have that gelée look. So, you know, there's times where I don't know my formulas. I'm here for the makeup. I'm not super expert. So anyways, but that's the feeling. They are very soft. I wouldn't say silky smooth, but they are very soft. They remind me somewhat, do you remember, and I think I even referenced these not too long ago, the little duos they used to have where it was a split pan of kind of like a blush light and a blush, and I don't remember what those were called, and they haven't been available for a long time. That's the finish that it reminds me of. So anyways, that's what we've got going on there. Let's go ahead and put this on my face together because very curious. I honestly have not used this yet. I had swatched a couple of them, but had not used it. So I did a kind of summery, beachy type of look. I don't know. And we're going to kind of pair something that is similar. So let's get into this. So quite frankly, I'm going to avoid using their classic shade because we all know what that looks like. It's just different hybrid versions of their classic shade. So I think I'm going to use, I don't want to go deep. So I think I'm going to use the peachy one, and then we'll top it off with the deeper one just because I want to see how they look. So I am using a stiffer brush. This is kind of an angled blush brush. I wouldn't use a super soft brush with these. They are more powdery than, for example, this. This you need a stiff, rock hard brush to pick up product. This is not that, but I don't think you'll pick up as much with a flimsy brush either. So kind of an in-between. And let's go ahead and place this down. Okay, I'm gonna already tell I'm gonna need a couple of layers. This is on the lighter side. Wow, that's pretty though. It is giving me a sheen as I notice that I have lip gloss on my teeth. I'm gonna go in with even a more dense brush because I feel like, okay, I'm like digging in here. There we go. So this is about 3 layers. You saw me put on 3 layers, and that's what that looks like. It built very nicely. Look, it has a sheen to where I possibly wouldn't even need highlight. That is pretty. Now the question is, do we want to just use let's just use the red one over here. That way you have an idea. I'm going to use the same brush, honestly, so there may be a little residue from that other one. This one's definitely more pigmented because look, layer number 1, and I already have a good flush on the skin. Now I will add a little bit more because blush being the first thing to go, I feel like that would fade pretty quickly. I don't know, but let's add a little bit more. I'm gonna dig a little bit more in there. I'm getting my lip gloss. Okay, hold on a second because that's gonna bother me. Much better. Ooh, this one's pigmented. This is 2 layers. That is lovely. That's very, very pretty. Now, also, I am going to tell you, I am wearing a powder foundation today. I'm not wearing a liquid. So, you know, what I was going to say is I feel like it's kind of looking like it's just taking a particular shape. I already know that's because I'm wearing powder foundation. Probably not the best idea. I didn't think of it till after I was done. So anywho's, that's that. But regardless, looks lovely. I don't feel like this one has the sheen that this one has, but that's okay. It gives you a little bit of variety. A little on my nose. I don't know what that's going to do, but anyways. All right, let's go into a little bit of highlight. Now, there are a couple of different ones. So there's that one. That one's a little deeper. We'll use 1 and 1. We'll use 1 on each cheek. Just for funsies. That is pretty. Now, you guys know the real test for me is if it sits on the skin. And this one, I feel like it has the potential of sitting on my skin, but again, I'm wearing powder foundation. I feel like for my wearing powder foundation right now, I feel like it's doing a really good job of not looking too powdery. I don't know how much more I want to layer though, because I don't want it to get it to look powdery, but we're still going to try it out. I mean, that's actually really, really nice. That kind of melted into my skin a little better than I thought it was gonna, based on that very first place down of product. And for what I layered, I expected a lot more powderiness. No. Wow, that looks nice. Okay, flipping the brush and gonna go to that deeper shade in the middle. There's a little lint on my brush. Does that happen to y'all? So this one's a little deeper, and you can tell the deeper tones on my skin tone do tend to look more powdery, obviously not as bright. So see, this one is bright. This one, not so much. So this definitely is more geared, the middle highlight shade is definitely geared, I think, to a more deeper skin tone, or to a deeper skin tone, sorry. Yeah, so this one definitely looks a little more powdery on me. Not bad, but it doesn't look as melted into the skin as this one. But I do typically find that to be the case with deeper highlights. I think it's just because it's accentuating. It's not brightening. It's not doing any kind of favors for my skin. I'm gonna use the deeper one on, oh wow, that's not bad. Yeah, so the deeper one is definitely doable for me. I think the lighter one is the better option. But that's not to say that there's a powder in here that I can't use, because I can definitely use this highlight. It's just, I'm not crazy about how it looks there. I like how it looks there. This one's the better of the two for me. But again, for reference, just for knowledge purposes, now you know how they work. Okay, there we are. There we have it. Let's go into the other two palettes really quick. I've swatched them on my arm. So this one is the Exposed palette. I feel like people hated this palette because of the formula. It is very, very stiff. Like, it's rock hard in there. And quite frankly, I've got hard pan on this one. It's not the most ideal. However, I have found that it looks lovely on my skin. It is that formula that really just melts in, because it doesn't have a powdery feel whatsoever. But like I said, a lot of people hated it for that reason. This is what this one looks like right here. So just for reference, yes, the brown kind of toned blush looks very, very similar. I would say this red shade that you get in the Summer Beach palette that we just went over, you don't have something as rich in this palette here. I mean, you've got the classic shade that is not in either one of these, and the highlight is, I feel like, a little bit of a different tone. So I think the biggest similarity is going to be this brown shade right here. Now, let's move into the Hot Tryst palette, which I can't remember. This may have been like holiday a couple of years ago. Now, this formula was a little bit easier, or is a little easier to work with than the last, but it still has its little issues. However, I do find this formula to be a lot similar in feel to the new summer palette. So definitely similarity there. My favorite shade out of this palette has always been this highlight. It's a beaming highlight and I have loved it. But I do feel like Nars does get very similar and repetitive in certain shades, one being the orange, two being like the deeper pink reds. Again, I don't think you're gonna find that the red matches really anything. There is a deeper shade there. It's not super matchy-matchy, but that looks like 3 shades. It's actually 6. You notice that these are also a lot lighter. It's kind of like a lighter wash of color than the palette that we just went over. The highlight is a little bit more of a pinky shift. And then you've got the one that I love, and that's got more of like it's almost like a cool toned highlight, and it definitely is different from what you get in this newer palette. So there are some similarities. I mean, nothing exact, quite frankly, but you do get a lot of the same tones. You always get that peachy orange shade. You always get a deeper berry type of shade. So there is that similarity. Again, I didn't find exact dupes. Like this red, kind of unique in itself. The highlight is, or the highlights, I guess I should say, are a little bit different. I find that they're shinier in the last 2 palettes than, or these 2 palettes, than the most current one. But that's what we've got going on, just for reference, in case you own either of these palettes. That way you know if there is any kind of repeats that would prevent you from wanting to buy this palette. All right, my friends, well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful more than anything. That is a lot of money to spend. You want to be sure of what you're getting before you get it. I totally understand that. So before I let you go, just want to give you a very quick verse of the day to motivate and encourage you. Today's comes from Psalm 31:24, and it says, "Be strong and take heart. all you who hope in the Lord. All right, my friends, thanks for stopping by. Thank you for spending some time with me to talk some new makeup. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, remembering that I love you, but Jesus loves you so much more. Until the next one, stay safe and stay well. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.